My name is Fred Gattuso. I am the Republican candidate for mayor for Carteret, New Jersey. We would like to start off tonight's town hall chat with the Pledge of Allegiance by Tom Cogan, please.
Everyone, please stand. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Please sit down. At this time, also, I would like the future First Lady of Carteret, New Jersey, Andrew Jones, love of my life, please come up and say a prayer.
Almighty God, as we are all here gathered tonight, we thank you for the safety and unity. Thank you for the opportunity that you have given Fred Gattuso for him to care for the people of Carteret. We ask that your blessing would rest on his team, Team Carteret with his councilmen Merritt and Gallo, the entire team along with Board of Ed candidates and Republican Party. You would give them the great vision and success for the residents' betterment, most especially the children of Carteret. Please bless the efforts of our hands together, the works of the minds together, and the actions of the fellow candidates and beloved supporters together. God of all life, help us work continuously all together with one heart and will to serve the common good. And please, O Lord, as for the community and all viewers watching this meeting on video, we pray for love, peace, and concern for one another. Drive out discontent, strife, anxiety, and fear. Lord, we confess we are nothing without you, and our trust is in you completely. Lord, as we share together now, may you guide us by your Holy Spirit and always lead us into all truth. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Before we get into our presentation, first and foremost, I want to apologize to the residents of the borough of Carteret. I want to apologize to everybody in this room and outside this room for the circus clown show that this election has become. We don't condone the actions, the words that have been going on in this election towards myself, towards members of our party, towards our candidates. This is not the kind of election that we wanted to run or be a part of. We find it utmost disgusting at the slanderous attacks that they've been putting on myself, my party members, my candidates running with me, my family, my friends, our supporters, the love of my life. For somebody with 16 years experience as a politician to go as low as they did against someone who's never had one day experience in politics is disgusting, and they should be embarrassed of themselves for the actions and the words that they have done in this election. In reality, they could have probably ran this election without ever opening their mouth and won this fair and square. For them to go to the measures that they have gone and to call all our supporters gang members, on top of other things that they've called us, and lies and allegations that they've put against us, they should be ashamed of themselves and embarrassed of themselves. And it shows their desperation and how scared that they are of us in this election. And tonight what we are going to be doing is laying the foundation of why they are so scared of what is coming. Tonight we're not going to give you the entire meal. We're going to give you the beginning of the meal. To understand what is going on, you have to first go back to the beginning. Before the house is built, you have to lay that foundation. And tonight what we are doing is going to lay the foundation of the corruption that has been going on in this town, so everybody understands where we're at now. So I personally want to apologize for the circus that they made this election on their part. Like I said, in order to understand how the Carteret Business Partnership works, you have to first understand why it exists and why it functions and how it functions. Technically, we have a mayor that's supposed to run this town, but that is not what's going on here, and it's not what's been going on here. It's really the Carteret Business Partnership. What the Carteret Business Partnership was created was the bylaws, which the agreement between the borough and the Carteret Business Partnership. At this time, I'd like you to read, please, the projector over here. These are the same exact files here that I'm going to be reading to you folks in their own words. Article 1. The name of the corporation is the Carteret Business Partnership Incorporated, hereinafter referred to as the corporation. Article 2. The offices. The principal office of the Carteret Business Partnership Incorporated shall be in the Borough of Carteret, located within Borough Hall, 61 Cook Ave, Carteret, New Jersey. The corporation may maintain additional offices at other places within Carteret as the Board of Directors may choose to designate. Article 3. The corporation is organized and shall be operated to assist in the economic development of the Borough of Carteret, promote business growth and development, and foster goodwill between the business community and the general public. Please pay attention to Article 4 highlighted over here. Article 4. Prohibited activities limitations by IRS regulations. The corporation shall not carry any other activities not permitted to be carried on by a corporation exempt from federal income tax under 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1954, as amended, or the corresponding provisions of any future United States Internal Revenue law, or by a corporation contributions to which are deductible under 179c2 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1954, as amended, or the corresponding provision of any future United States Internal Revenue law. B. No part of the earnings of the corporation shall inure to the benefit of or be distributed to its members, directors, officers, or other persons, except that the corporation shall be authorized and empowered to pay reasonable compensation for services rendered to the corporation and to make payments and distribution, and furthermore of the purposes set forth herein. C. No substantial part of the activities of the corporation shall be the carrying of propaganda or otherwise attempting to influence legislation, and the corporation shall not participate in or intervene in, including the publishing or distribution of statements, any political campaign on behalf of any candidate for public office except as authorized under the Internal Revenue Code of 1954 as amended. Membership of the corporation. Section 1, membership. All retail, commercial, and multifamily residential properties over 4 units located within the Borough of Carteret SID district, excluding church-related, governmental, and residential properties, shall be members of the Carteret Business Partnership Corporation. The Borough of Carteret Ordinance 03-47, a non-voting associate membership shall be available for Carteret home-based businesses. Businesses located within the borough but outside the SID district, not assessed by Ordinance 03-07, and/or businesses with other financial interests or dealings within Carteret for an annual fee of $250. It means you have to actually pay to be in the Carteret Business Partnership. Section 2, the role of members. The Secretary of the corporation shall maintain a list of all members of the corporation. The members of the Carteret Business Partnership are the businesses in Carteret. Section 3, the transfer of membership. Membership in the corporation is not transferable or assignable. Section 4, voting rights. Every member whose property is assessed the Special Improvement District tax within the SID district shall be entitled to one vote as a member shareholder in the corporation, regardless of the number of properties owned. Section 5. Amendments to bylaws by general membership. These bylaws may be amended, changed, or repealed by a 2/3 vote of the general membership, provided that the general membership has received or been notified of, in writing, the proposed amendment, change, or request to repeal 30 days in advance of the meeting at which such action is proposed. Nothing contained herein prohibits the amendment to these bylaws in Section 15 herein. Please pay attention to Article 7, Board of Directors. Section 1, General Powers. The business and affairs of the corporation shall be managed by a Board of Directors, which may exercise all power of the corporation and perform all powers of the corporation and perform all lawful acts for a corporation pursuant to the laws of the State of New Jersey governing not-for-profit corporations. Let's go to Article 8, Compensation, Reimbursement, and Contracts. Very important. You have it up there?
That's Article 7, vacancies.
We're at Article 8, Compensation, Reimbursement, and Contracts. Page 4.
Got it.
Section 1, Compensation. No employees of the corporation shall have a financial interest, either direct or indirect, in any contract relating to the operation of the corporation, nor in by any contract for the furnishing of services or supplies to the corporation. Section 2, Reimbursement. Directors and officers may be reimbursed for reasonable and necessary expenses incurred by them in performance of their duties, which are directly related to the official corporation business, such as, but not limited to, travel expenses. Such as expenses must be authorized by a majority vote of the Board of Directors in advance of incurring such expenses. Reimbursed. 3, Contracts. No trustee or member of the corporation shall have a financial interest, either direct or indirect, in any contract relating to the operations of the corporations, or in any contract for the furnishing of services or to the corporation, unless the fact of such interest is disclosed in writing to the Board of Directors, both prior to, made public at, any meeting of the Board of Directors during which such contract is to be discussed, reviewed, approved by the Board of Directors. No trustee of the corporation having such a direct or interest in any contract before the Board of Directors for review and approval shall cast a vote on any matter which has direct bearing on such contract. No trustee or member of the corporation having a direct or indirect interest in any contract brought before the Board of Directors for reviewing and shall seek, either directly or indirectly, to influence any vote of any trustee or directors in any matters having direct bearing on such contract. Section 8, the Treasurer. The Treasurer shall keep accounts of all monies, credits, and properties of the corporation which shall come into his hands, and shall keep full and accurate accounts of all receipts and disbursements in books belonging to the corporation. He shall have custody of all the funds and securities and other valuable efforts of the corporation. Whenever necessary, he or she shall endorse on behalf of the corporation all checks, notes, or other obligations and evidence the payment of money payable to the corporation or coming into his or her possession, and shall deposit the funds arising therefrom and all the monies available effects of the corporation in the name and to the credit of the corporation in such depositories as may be selected by the Board of Directors or property care for them in such manner as the Board of Directors may direct. He or she, or in his or her absence, another officer shall co-sign with another officer checks and other instruments of drawn on or payable out to the funds of the corporation whenever required by the Board of Directors, taking proper vouchers for such disbursements. He or she shall at the times exhibit a true and complete statement of the corporation's case and of the securities and other funds in his or her custody, and control shall be reasonable times within the business hours, except his books and accounts to any trustee. Like I said before, folks, we technically have a mayor, and the mayor's job is to run this town. It's not the mayor who is running this town. The people who are running this town and have been running this town is the Carteret Business Partnership. And this is something many folks don't know. And we hope to wake up a lot of people tonight and in the next coming weeks when we drop more and get a little more deeper into the Carteret Business Partnership. As it says in their bylaws, it's against the federal law for the Carteret Business Partnership to be involved in politics. We go to the next folder, please. Under the Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code, an organization must be organized and operated exclusively for exempt purposes set forth in Section 501c3, and none of its earnings may inure to any private shareholder or individual. In addition, it may not be an action organization. An example, it may not attempt to influence legislation as a substantial part of its activities, and it may not participate in any campaign activity for or against political candidates. Organizations described in Section 501c are commonly referred to as charitable organizations. Organizations described in Section 501c3, other than testing for public safety organizations, are eligible to receive tax-deductible contributions in accordance with Code Section 170. The organization must not be organized or operated for the benefit of private interests, and no part of Section 501c3 organization's net earnings may inure the benefit of any private shareholder or individual. The organization engages in excess benefit transactions with a person having substantial influence over the organization. An excise tax may be imposed on the person and any organization managers agreeing to the transaction. Section 501c3 organizations are restricted in how much political and legislative lobbying activities they may conduct. For a detailed discussion, see political lobbying activities, yada, yada, yada. This is the IRS's laws, once again, not ours. Can you please go to the next folder? Once again, it's against federal law for the Carteret Business Partnership to be involved in any politics. The restriction of political campaign intervention by Section 501c3 tax-exempt organizations. You see on the screen here as well. Just going to read you real quick the highlighted part. Under the Internal Revenue Code, all Section 501c3 organizations are absolutely prohibited from directly or indirectly participating in or intervening in any political campaign on behalf or in opposition to any candidate for elective public office. Everybody heard that? Okay. You can now go to the next one, please, sir. So again, I'd like to reiterate, it's against the federal law for the Carteret Business Partnership to be involved in politics. If you would please look at the screen, everybody. It's the same thing I have in front of me here. And if you guys like, you can go home and you can check the ELEC website under disbursements for Daniel J. Ryman's campaign. Okay? You folks, look right here. For those who can't read it, Carteret Business Partnership. Okay? 61 Cook Ave, table sponsorship, $500 disbursement under Ryman's own campaign expenses. For those who don't believe us, you can go home, go to the ELEC website, type in the borough, and see it for yourself.
I'm sorry. We go back up to the top.
You here? Schedule 1D, disbursements, campaign expenses. Just go back.
Yep.
Okay. Everybody saw that, correct? Okay? Once again, I'd like to reiterate, it's against the federal law for the Carteret Business Partnership to be involved in politics. Now, before I get to the next part, I want you all to understand how it all works. When you're mayor, it gives you the power of eminent domain, which we've been having a lot of in Carteret. Would anybody agree with that? Okay. And you're also the mayor, you also control the board as well. So how do you not have the power to do what you want? And who's going to stop you? You're damn right. You're damn right. Team Carteret. Let's stop. Now that we have learned, and his gang, yes. Now that we have learned how eminent domain can create properties for the Carteret Business Partnership, wouldn't you call that a monopoly in the creation and development of a town throughout acquisition and development? The big question is, why would I say that? Why? Because it's happening. By keeping the eminent domain going on, you're creating inventory for the Carteret Business Partnership to run rampant in this town. And that's what has been going on. And it's time for it all to stop and for it to be exposed. If we could please go to the next and last folder, please, sir.
I'm trying to open it.
Okay. While we're waiting for that, let's take a small little window into the Carteret Business Partnership. Say I can buy this gavel at a dollar store for $1. Okay? What the Carteret Business Partnership will do is they'll sell you this gavel for $10,000 and mark it off. That's what's going on here. And there's nobody to stop them. Nobody. At no point in the tax returns that we're going to show you, are they up yet?
Still converting.
Okay. Not one point in the tax returns does it ever say the Carteret Business Partnership should grow. It says the borough should grow. Do you think it's fair that a mayor making $114,000 a year salary right now is also a trustee for the Carteret Business Partnership?
No, sure.
Might be a little special interest in there, right?
Yeah.
A little bit? A little bit. Now that we know the mayor can create inventory for Carteret Business Partnership by eminent domain, and the Carteret Business Partnership can develop whatever they want with no bid contracts, what if I wanted to build a bar in Carteret, say? They can take any land that they want and build a bar. Does anybody in here agree with that?
No.
Okay. Does anybody here think they should have that kind of power?
No.
Okay, thank you. Well, still waiting for that. Okay.
Who bought the Rite Aid?
Their liquor license for the purpose of their future investments. When the right moment comes, they will build it, use the liquor license, and continue to monopolize their business as usual. And we will show you the proof as soon as we get this up right now.
It's coming. Almost there. Here it comes.
What we are doing tonight is, folks, we're just laying the foundation for you folks to understand. Before you walk, you have to crawl. And this is the purpose of what the business partnership is. In the next coming town hall chats, we're going to have these at least every 2 weeks, maybe every week leading up to the election, on top of the regular video chats. We're not going to say where they are. They might be in different locations. But tonight we just wanted to lay the groundwork for you so you folks understand what's going on here. in the next few weeks, we're going to dig a lot deeper and give you folks a lot more of what is going on. I wanted to just say thank you, everybody, for please coming out tonight and for listening to us and for helping and supporting Team Carteret. And maybe now everyone here will understand a little more of why they've been attacking us. Because what they've been coming with is lies and falsehood. And what we are going to present everybody is truth and facts. And that's why they are so scared.
They don't want us to know.
They don't want you folks to know. They don't want anyone to know. Did you know there has never been a public meeting of the Carteret Business Partnership that started in 2003? But now after we started talking about it, they're going to finally hold their first open Carteret Business Partnership meeting to the public. First time they're going to be holding a public meeting. Because we, yes, since 2003. We're going to touch on some of those board members as soon as we get this up. There's been a few names that have changed throughout the years. We're going to specifically go over the 2014 tax returns. But we have all the tax returns from current to when they started.
Hey, Fred, why don't we just do an old school like we do?
Wait.
Oh, here we go. We're up and running. Thank you. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you, Tony. As you see here, we have the 2014 tax returns for the Carteret Business Partnership. So I'll read here. Carteret Business Partnership, 61 Cook Ave. Mark Harushka, who also happens to be the fire chief in Carteret. He is the principal officer, as it states on their tax returns. You folks, please, would we scroll up a little bit, please, Katrina? A little bit. Right here. You're supposed to get to this part. You folks would please read this here. Briefly describe the organization's mission or most significant activities. To assist the borough of Carteret, the county of Middlesex, New Jersey, in economic development, promoting business growth and development, and foster goodwill between the business community and the general public.
Isn't that against what the
Kind of against what it said, right?
IRS law?
Kind of against it, right? Does anybody feel that the Carteret Business Partnership has done that since 2003? Anyone?
Yeah.
Okay. We can now scroll to page 7. Somebody asked a question of who's on the board. This is the 2014 tax returns. We're going to be releasing all of them very soon, and they will also be online as well. We're going to release a little more each meeting. Okay. Here is a listing of the 2014 members. Top name, Mayor Daniel J. Ryman. Remember what the bylaw said? No special interest, no politics. Under federal law, 501c3, from the federal income tax laws of 1954. No special interest going on here, right?
Who's the bottom?
Right underneath it, we have Mr. Mark Harushka, trustee and chairman. On part 9, other assets. Liquor licenses. Does anyone know, or in case you haven't seen Monday night's video chat, which was abruptly disrupted, that me and Mr. Gallo did, when we discussed the mayor's positions? Does anybody know who's in control of the liquor license in Carteret?
Maybe mayor.
The mayor, Daniel J. Ryman. Anybody see how much that liquor license was for? $98,000 for a liquor license.
For one.
For one.
That's more than one.
More than one?
It says license, right? Yeah.
Okay. Good. Remember, who controls the liquor license? Ryman. Remember, it says in there, no special interest. No special interest going on here at all, folks, right? Okay. If we can now please go to page...
Where's the money for the liquor go?
It's a good question. Good question. This right here, line 1B. Folks, please read here. It says, the Board of Directors, trustees, Review Federal Form 990 prior to filing. Part 6, line 19. Government documents, policies, and procedures and financial statements are available upon request of the general public. Maybe it's time we start requesting these records.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's time we start looking into who is really controlling our town. Does anybody not see special interest going on here according to their own records? Does anybody not see involvement of political campaigns and backing of candidates from their own disbursement reports? Those aren't doctored and made up like photos and videos of me. The lip sync isn't off on this one, guys. The proof is in there, put in. And you folks want to know why Carteret has been going on the way it is, and why they want everybody in a dark silence, is they don't want you to know who really runs the town. For the people who don't know, the people who don't question, that's what they want. The reason that they have been attacking myself, this party, my candidates, my supporters, and everybody in here, is because we're starting to dig into them. And if they think that this is digging, you have no idea what the hell is coming for you next. You have none. I made myself, my girlfriend, my loved ones a promise in this campaign before I even was nominated by the Republican Party, that it wasn't just to become mayor in this town. It's to bring justice to this town, to the residents. My mission is not... My mission is not just to win. My mission is to take them down. And I'm going to take them down. We are going to take them down.
Clean the house.
We're going to clean house. And when this is all said and done, and a big political $1 million monster machine gets taken down by a small little beautiful group of people with no budget.
The 3%.
And no $800 paychecks every 2 weeks.
That's when we all will win.
That's right.
That's my little presentation tonight, folks, about the Carteret Business Partnership. We are going to be getting a lot deeper and a lot more deeper. I wanted tonight to show you folks how it works. Now that everybody understands how it works, in the future, we're going to be showing you at the next meeting the real corruption going on. Get ready. This, we are going to win.
We're ready.
We already. Thank you, everyone. At this time, I would like to ask my running mates, Regina Merritt, Tony Gallo running for council, members of Team Carteret, please come up and say a few words.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tony Gallo, running for council. This is my running mate, Regina Merritt. We're running. We're backing Fred 1,000%.
Yes, sir.
We want you to know that we don't believe any of the memes and fake posts that they're putting out. I mean, they just put one out last week, or this week, right? Fred was smoking a cigarette, and and the speech was going on, so you could tell it was a voiceover. But I say we get, is it Randy Crow? Raymond Crow,
Raymond
I'm sorry. We get him to do our next voiceover when we do a movie. Especially, I guess I used to watch those old Chinese kung fu flicks. He's got a good job coming for him. He was excellent, man. I felt like I said to Fred, we should do one of those kung fu flicks and get him to come and do the voiceover for us. Yeah, it was great. That was great. But yeah, no, and then there was another special meme about me and a good friend of mine. I don't want to mention any names, but I'm sure you've seen it out there.
And there's one about me with the little kid on my lap, too.
Yeah.
Very, very classy.
Well, I just know that we're going to win. We got a great team behind us. I thank you all for your support. Regina?
What he said.
We're going to win, period. 2018's our chance.
Not for anything, but if they could do that with the names and the kids and all of that, that's what they're doing to their community.
Yes.
And they want to vote
Yeah.
for that.
Right.
They want to vote for people who are that vile, to
Is-
go to that extent. There's a problem here.
Yes.
That's all I have to say, and I don't really see much.
I think this is why I always say
That's just way out there. That's off the river.
they should have term limits. They really should. Because war room, yeah. Let's not talk about war room. We've done enough of that this week. But 16 years is a long time. Respectfully, anybody, they should follow George Washington, who stepped down after 2 terms and who really started the 2-term election process. And it was followed up after Teddy Roosevelt, Theodore? FDR, thank you. After FDR, they set the tone, and it should be followed throughout. The states and towns, there should be 2-term limits. This way you come in, you serve your community, and then you go home with pride.
Exactly.
You don't end up 16 years in. 16 years in and you're still looking for more? You've done enough. You've done enough. It's time to go. Step down respectfully, move on, go enjoy your life. I'm sure you've made enough money to survive the rest of it. And that's it. But Team Carteret all the way. Board of Ed?
We, at
Thank
this
you.
time, would like to invite students to come first. Please come up, say a few words. Those who don't know, they're running the Board of Education.
My name is Katrina Notaramasto. I would like to thank Fred and the Carteret Republican Committee for inviting us here today to say a couple words about our platform and our team. And if you don't know me, I graduated from Carteret High School in 2010. I was my class valedictorian president, and I went through all of my public school life here in Carteret. I went to the College of New Jersey, where I studied political science and received a Bachelor of Arts degree there, and I graduated there in 2014. And what really motivated me to run for Board of Education this year was a variety of things. Going through a public school system and seeing the things that were taken away from me when I was a student, like family and consumer sciences education, vocational classes, some of our extracurricular activities was unthinkable, but as a student I really didn't have much resources to do anything about that. And then going through college and seeing other students, my friends, go to other public schools and see all the opportunities that they had that I didn't was unfathomable. And now as an adult that works in New York City for a foreign policy think tank, I work in the Upper East Side, listening to really interesting speakers from all around the world. To be able to have that experience and realize that courses related to that was not even offered when I was a student is something that I couldn't just sit and take. It was time for me to stand up and make a change and to use my voice to speak up for the students of Carteret. And I see this little boy here, and it just reminds me of what my purpose is. It's to speak up for those who aren't being represented in this town. And I hope that you'll consider voting for my team. I'm supported by 2 amazing men. One's Tom Cogan. He's a former military veteran, and now he works as a sheriff in the Middlesex County Police Department. And my other running mate is Sunny Delcu. He is a current medical school student. He's studying to become a doctor. He wasn't here. They both weren't able to speak tonight, but we hope you consider voting and making a change, because this is the time to do it. And if we don't, we're just going to continuously have the same problems over and over again. And what does that do for the future generations? Nothing. We're just going to continuously fall behind. And this town has the potential to do so many great things. And if we don't do something about it, then it's just going to go by the wayside. So I hope you use your voice.
Students come first, everyone. Katrina, Sonny, and Tom. 3 people that we need in there to fight for these kids once and for all. to break up that stranglehold of power that is inside there. As Tony said before in our meeting, before we started here, they could have ran on any name that they wanted to run, and the opposition ran Team Ryman. I think that says it all, who they're fighting for. And I think the name Students Come First says who they are fighting for. That little man one and done right here.
Fred, can you talk about the pension?
Can we talk about the pension? Yes, the pension, if Mayor Ryman wins this year, it'll be his 28th year. It'll be 5 terms he had. He will get a 100% pension that the taxpayers will all be paying for the rest of his life. So right off the bat, you're guaranteed your taxes going up.
They already did.
They already did, and they're going to go up again if he wins. With his $114,000 salary, you can guarantee the next 4 years he's going to beef up. As we've been going over articles and issues from 2010 against Ryman versus Freeman in the election, the same exact tactics that they were doing back then, the same slander, same mudslinging. This is nothing new. The only thing that's changed is one of the names that he uses for his mudslinging, which happens to be John Solanas in War Room. This man is only out for himself. His cronies in council are only out for themselves. Their cronies in Board of Education are only out for themselves. It's time that this town has people fighting for the residents, once and for all. The 3 of us, me, Regina, and Tony, we are fighting for the residents. The 3 members of Students Come First are fighting for the residents and for these kids. It's time for a change. It's time for new blood. We don't want to take over. We want balance. This election is not about Fred Gattuso. This election is not about Dan Ryman. It's about the residents. The reason that they don't want to talk the issues is because the issues are the problems that they created. That's why the only thing that they can say in this election is Fred Gattuso this, Fred Gattuso that. They can't talk about the overdevelopment, the overcrowding of the schools, because they created that. They can't talk about the sewer flooding systems all around Chrome and West Carteret and throughout the town, because they created that. That's why the only thing they can say in this election is Fred Gattuso. Fred Gattuso this, and want to make up memes and stuff about me from 10 years ago.
All personal attacks.
All personal attacks. I think the residents need to start asking, why haven't they said anything about the issues? Because the issues are the problems that they created. And if they talk that, they'll expose themselves. And this is why we are fighting. Let's be honest here, folks. Nobody else threw their hat in the race in this election to run against them. Because they knew what was coming from the past elections, from what they did to Kenny, from what they did to everybody else that ran before myself. I said, bring it on. I said, bring it on. I don't care what they say about me. I don't care what they try to do. Because you know what? Fighting for this town, that is my hometown, that I was born in and that I will die in. And for the beautiful town that we all knew and loved, that they are changing right before our eyes, day by day. It is time to say once and for all, enough is enough. We are not made to be a city. We were made to be a small little suburb where people came here and raised their families of hard-working people who busted their back to keep that home, to make it through, that fought for the right things, that blood, sweat, and tears. And now you have people changing our town for their own benefit, for their own greed, and creating shell corporations to do the things a borough couldn't. It's time, once and for all, to wake up, Carteret. And it's time to take our borough back, once and for all, not just for ourselves, for the future. What are we saying to the kids that are growing up watching this election? It's, what is it, Joe?
They're saying that the here don't matter.
Right. Is it okay? Is this the example that we want to show our kids? That it's okay to come and attack people the way that they attacked myself and my running mates?
Being bullied.
And being bullied?
I wouldn't want to raise a family here. I wouldn't want to.
If I was an out-of-towner and I was watching this election, I would throw up. And I have friends that are out-of-towners that watch this election very closely. And they say, what is wrong with these people? Who voted them in? And this is from outsiders who don't even live in New Jersey.
I'm really sorry. I haven't voted the Ryman. I won my votes back.
Want my votes back?
Yeah.
Nice, Josie.
Call three of
Nice.
their cronies, that could be done.
We can do it. We will do it. We're gonna do it. And like I've been saying far too long on our live chats for the folks who've been watching, we start off our show every time saying, for those who don't know it yet, we already won. And very, very soon, you will all understand why we say we already won. On behalf of the residents of Carteret, Dan Ryman, you should do what's right and step down now. This election should have been political, and you made it personal. And you didn't even have the guts to do it yourself. You sent your little crony henchman to do it.
Didn't this mayor, Dan Ryman, make a promise 16 years ago about building another school?
That's what the first campaign was about, correct? That he was going to build a school.
So he didn't keep his promise.
Did he do it in 2010?
Didn't do it 2010. Didn't do it 2014. You really think he's going to do it if he wins this time too?
I don't
Maybe
think
he will,
so.
because we're talking about it now.
Tomorrow there'll be a foundation.
So,
They're going on
It's-
next Friday to the high
in the next few sessions that we have leading up to this, we plan, like I said, to have one at least every 2 weeks, if not every week leading up to it. If we can get the time in the halls, whether there's one person here or 100, we are going to be revealing a lot more, hopefully waking up the eyes, and showing you guys facts and proof, not made-up memes, not doctored videos, facts.
We're going to stick to the issues, right?
We're going to stick to the issues. And hopefully now you guys understand why they were so scared. Because what they thought this was going to be a walk in the park. They had no idea who the hell they were messing with. They had no idea. Myself, Team Carteret, Republican Party, our little team of researchers. I love you all.
Thank you.
And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And we're going to win this as a team. And when we do,
We're gonna have hot dogs.
we're going to have hot dogs. There we go.